Hey everybody. So don't look now, but the Pittsburgh Penguins have scored 7 goals in back-to-back games on back-to-back nights on the road. Saturday night they beat the Minnesota Wild 7-4, and last night they beat the Winnipeg Jets 7-2, picking up 2 important road wins against Central Division teams. And this is noteworthy because Pittsburgh has been talked about a lot already this season, but not for their goal scoring, not for how good they are, but for all the injuries and trade rumors surrounding this team. Pittsburgh right now is playing without Evgeny Malkin, without Nick Bjugstad, and without Brian Rust. 3 important forwards are out of their lineup right now. And there's been a lot of talk already this season about Pittsburgh needing to make a trade, Pittsburgh possibly trading for a center, looking to at least get some short-term help through the trade market to make up for those losses of Rust, Malkin, and Bjugstad. Well, Pittsburgh right now is sitting at 4-2, playing pretty darn good hockey, and not having any issues scoring goals, to say the least. So the right move for Pittsburgh here might just be to wait this out and let those guys get healthy, and maybe making a desperation trade is not the way to go for the Penguins. Now, the Penguins are certainly a team that is never afraid to test the trade market. They're never afraid to make moves. Jim Rutherford is always looking for ways to make moves and improve the team. But for all the talk about Pittsburgh needing to make a move and how much trouble Pittsburgh is in, they're really not. And I think, when it was Bjugstad and Malkin's injuries were announced on the same day, and they were both longer-term injuries, looking at probably about a month. For at least Malkin was about a month. Bjugstad might be a little shorter than that, but still a longer-term injury. A lot of us around the hockey world kind of gasped. We were like, uh-oh, Pittsburgh's season could be over before it even begins. Their number 2 center gone, their number 3 center gone. Brian Rust, an important utility winger who can move up and down the lineup, is already out. A lot of us were like, this is not good. Pittsburgh could be in big trouble here. So far, Pittsburgh has not been in big trouble. They're playing very, very well. They're 4-2. They're still winning games. They're still scoring goals. Offense is not an issue right now for the Pittsburgh Penguins, even with those key players out. And I'll tell you, the young players that have been called up and have started to play in the place of these injured players have done a very, very good job. They've played really, really well. First of all, your star players are still leading the way, the ones that are still there. Sidney Crosby leads the team with 10 points in 6 games. Crosby is still Crosby. He is leading the way. Chris Letang, 8 points in 6 games as a defenseman. He is playing very, very well to start this season. Jake Guentzel, 4 goals and 6 points already in 6 games. So Gentzel's scoring, at a very, very good rate. Just like he has the last couple of years. Patrick Hornquist has 3 goals already. So, these important players that when you hear Malkin and Bjugstad and Rust are out, those are the guys you think of that need to step up and that need to be the star players. Galchenyuk's been out as well. I haven't even talked about him yet, but he, I don't think, has played. They haven't really missed him, honestly. Galchenyuk's been out too. I completely forgot about him. They haven't really missed him. The star players are performing at a high level, and Guentzel, Crosby, Letang, Hornquist, Justin Schultz has 4 points already. They're playing well and doing what they need to do. Also, the younger guys, the kids that are the call-ups and the fourth-line guys, they are playing really well as well. Sam Lafferty, since being called up from Wilkes-Barre Scranton, 3 goals and 2 assists for 5 points in 4 games. From a call-up from the AHL, who's playing in the bottom 6, 5 points in 4 games. Zach Aston Reese, who's been on the 4th line all year long this year, 4 points in 6 games, 2 goals and 2 assists for a 4th liner. Not bad at all. Joseph Blandisi got called up. He's only played a couple of games. He's got 2 points in those 2 games. Teddy Bluger's got a couple of points already. Adam Johnson, who ended up getting called up, he's got a couple points already in 3 games. So these call-up guys, these young guys, are playing really well as well. So Pittsburgh isn't in the terrible situation that I think a lot of us thought they were going to be in when all these injuries were announced. They're still playing well. They're still scoring goals. 7 goals in back-to-back games on back-to-back nights. You do not see that very often in the NHL. Pittsburgh's biggest problem, in my mind, is still the inconsistency on the blue line. The forward group is not the issue for the Penguins, even with the injuries. And I mean, when those guys come back, when Malkin comes back, when Bjugstad comes back, when Rust comes back, when Galchenyuk comes back, look at what that forward group is going to look like with those guys back in. That's going to be a hell of a forward group. That's not the issue in Pittsburgh. The issue in Pittsburgh is the inconsistency on the back end. It's been an issue now for a few years with them, but I think, they could definitely, Jack Johnson's got to go. If they can find a trade partner for Jack Johnson, which I think is going to be difficult, especially given his contract and how long it is, but if they can find a trade partner for Jack Johnson, I think that would be a good move to make. They still need help on the back end. Letang, obviously is still the star on their back end. Brian Dumoulin's a really good two-way player. Justin Schultz is off to a good start and a really solid player and a good offensive defenseman to have. But their bottom three, I think, definitely could be improved. And that's still, I think, the issue for the Penguins is just inconsistent play on the blue line. Some nights their defense is perfectly fine and they look good and there's no issue at all. Other nights, the defense looks like it has some issues. So consistency is a problem, but I don't think the forward group at all is an issue for the Penguins. And even with all the injuries, I don't think they need to go out and rush to make a move because they've played really, really well with the call-ups and with the young guys in the lineup. Now, if over the next 2 weeks, maybe things change, they have a homestand coming up against Western Conference teams. They've got Colorado on Wednesday, Dallas on Friday, and Vegas on Saturday. If they don't, if they were happen to go like 0-3 on that homestand or something like that, if things drastically change here quickly and they go on a long losing streak, maybe the calls for a move ramp back up. But with the way it sits right now, with them at 4-2, with them scoring goals and looking fine, even with all the injured players, I don't think you rush to make a move if you're the Pittsburgh Penguins because you're in decent shape without it. You're still in decent shape without it. And as soon as they get through October and they start getting some of these guys back, I think their lineup is just going to get better and better as these guys return from injuries. So I'm very, very impressed with what Pittsburgh is doing to start this season. With the players that are out, they're still playing really well. They're still scoring a lot of goals. They're still winning games. And a lot of people were, saying, "Uh-oh," when these injuries were announced. Pittsburgh's doing fine without, even with the injuries, without those players. So we'll see if Pittsburgh can continue to do this. But I have been really impressed with what I've seen from the Penguins so far. Like, comment, share, subscribe, follow on social media. All those links are down in the description below. If you'd like to further support the channel, the links to our Patreon and merchandise store are down in the description as well. Keep spreading the word about this channel. Let's keep this thing growing. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll talk to you guys soon.